Have you ever seen something from the corner of your eye that wasn't there when you looked again? How about hearing from a friend of a friend that while they were hiking somewhere, they thought they saw something impossible? When they spoke to a ranger, there was always a simple explanation that left everyone unsatisfied. My name is Chris, and I'm here with my colleague Jack, and we're senior wardens for the Creature Conservation Initiative. We protect the world from the creatures of superstition and myth, but more importantly, protect those same creatures from the world. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode. I'm here with my colleague Jack again. Jack, good that you're here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I've had a bit of an interesting couple of cases over the last few weeks, but otherwise I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Sounds like good content in the makings.
I'm sure it is for someone. Not sure who that is.
Yeah, well, myself, I'm fighting off a little cold, but other than that, I'm doing pretty well, actually, hoping that the world doesn't burn again for another day or two.
Well, I mean, we can only hold it off for so long.
Yeah, that's true.
Nihilism. Carry on.
So, today's episode, today's creature, it came to me in a dream. Or a nightmare, rather, because after talking about the Gabriel hounds last time, the image was burned into my brain with their little creepy baby heads on their dog bodies.
Yeah, they are certainly creepy creatures.
They certainly are, and I actually dreamt about them, and in my dreams I saw them. You sent me a picture of them, which I would say thank you, but whatever the opposite of that is.
I'm a very, very visual person, and I feel you cannot understand until you physically see it.
Yes, but I didn't want to understand. Anyway.
Sucks to be you.
Yes, it does. It does really. But whatever the case may be, I actually had a dream about them, and in my dream I encountered a few of those Gabriel hounds, and at some point in the dream, their little baby heads detached from their dog bodies and grew wings and turned into little nasty flying human heads.
Okay, I will say that is something Gabriel hounds don't do.
That is somewhat reassuring. But yeah, these little flying heads attacked me in my nightmare, and I woke up and I was... It took a couple seconds, but then I realized that there was just a dream, everything's fine. But then I realized that these creatures actually also exist, which is not fine.
Oh, damn.
Yes, we are talking today about the Chonchons from South America.
The Chonchons?
The Chonchons. Also apparently sometimes called the Tuituis.
Okay.
Named after the call they make, but Chonchon seems to be the more common name.
All right.
Yeah, as I said, they're from South America, is where they're mainly at home. Best documentation, quote unquote, we have basically comes from Mapuche religion, which is an indigenous people from the region. And
okay.
As I already said, they are basically flying human heads. And imagine just a human head with gigantic ears that serve as wings.
Okay.
And then underneath they have kind of like talons, like a bird of prey might have. They're a little bit feathery, and that is what you have to imagine them like.
Okay, these are incredibly creepy.
They are.
I mean, you're telling me you've got a flying... Is it human adults or human baby?
It is human adults.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that makes it better, but...
So you're telling me in your nightmare, because this is definitely a nightmare, there's certainly no chance this was a dream, that you had essentially an unholy mixture between a fleshy skull and a Pokemon Zubat.
Yep, checks out.
With claws and talons that scream.
Yes, that about sums it up.
I'm gonna say that's not down to the Gabriel hounds.
Well, basically turning them into baby heads in the dream was the only thing that could have made these creatures worse. I try not to hate any creatures that we encounter. They're just, living their lives, but sometimes you gotta make an exception.
Sometimes, yeah. Some creatures are just.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta hate.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta hate something.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the unofficial like slogan of the CCI at times, but yeah.
Unofficial, of course.
Unofficial.
Yeah. But very common.
It's the Warden's mantra.
Yeah.
All right.
That's true.
All right. So you're going to have to start telling me a little bit more about these creatures and why they appear to you in a nightmare.
Yes, that was the plan. Well, first of all, where do I even start?
At the beginning is usually a good place. Sorry.
That's a good suggestion. I'll keep that in mind. Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's a spicy day.
Yeah, it definitely is. So the Chonchon. The name, I couldn't find any real etymology for that. It seems to just be mimicking the sound of their flapping their ear wings, which is a sentence I didn't hope to say, but
Yeah. It's certainly not one I would have heard on the bingo card.
yeah. So I can tell you a little bit about the legend if you'd like.
Yeah.
The legend of how these things come into being is basically that a very powerful Kalku, which is a sort of sorcerer among the Mapuche, they put a magical cream on their throat,
Okay.
which then allows them to remove their head, which then somehow becomes the Chonchon, and it possesses all of their magical abilities. And basically, the sorcerer just in head form goes off into the world and does whatever evil sorcerers do.
Okay.
Legend also states that they can only be seen in that form by other sorcerers or by those who seek that power, which unfortunately is not true. I could see them very well, and I wish I hadn't.
Is this a cover for you trying to tell me that you are now practicing dark magic?
Well, I mean, yes, but it doesn't have anything to do with this episode.
Okay. I'll let HR know.
Please don't.
And we'll take it from there.
They're gonna put me in the embezzlement department.
Hey, I've heard it pays well. But anyway, carrying on.
Anyway, yes. There is a way to prevent them from reattaching to the body if you want to do that, which I'm not sure why, but apparently if you find the body of one of these Chonchons while they are flying off in their head form, you can turn the body on the stomach, and that somehow makes it so that the head cannot reattach itself, which I don't fully understand, and I'm not sure why this is something you would want to achieve.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, let's leave the super powerful head bat to have all its powers and be able to fly.
Exactly. What could go wrong?
Yeah, that's just what people are like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that is the basic legend around them, and I can tell you that we are pretty sure that sorcerers are not involved in any way. They are just very annoying and kind of sort of dangerous animals, but they are really just, they're not coming from actual human bodies or human heads, so...
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's something at least. What is true is that they drink blood, so think of them as big human-headed mosquitoes.
I was going to say, do they have any kind of relation to like vampires or anything?
I mean, sort of, I guess, in the sense that they drink blood. They don't turn you into one of theirs, but
okay.
Yeah, they specifically are said to drink the blood of the sick or the sleeping, which, sleeping is kind of fine, but the problem comes in with drinking the blood of the sick, because as we have found out the hard way now and then, they themselves are pretty much immune to disease, more or less, but they kind of collect it, they are doing a catch-em-all of all the disease in their area. And then when they bite the next person or animal or whatever, they basically transmit this entire cocktail to their newest victim. And unfortunately, it turns out that it doesn't work like it does for Mr. Burns, in that all the diseases cancel each other's out. It turns out that the cocktail of a million diseases is actually quite bad to have.
Who knew?
Yeah. And I'm as shocked as you are, but yeah, that is the thing that actually makes them kind of dangerous. It depends a bit on other factors, like what diseases are going around and what are they preying on and all that stuff. But yeah, that can be a serious problem.
Yeah, I can understand that, and I'm really, really surprised I haven't heard of them. They sound like they're, kind of like a tier 1 type of scary creature to have to deal with within the CCI, rather than Gabriel hounds, which are essentially scavengers.
They are somewhat rare, so I guess that is why they are not ranked as high as other threats we face. But we've had some nasty encounters with them a couple of times. I don't know if you remember, a while ago I was out for the better part of a year, and that was actually after dealing with one of them.
Oh, I thought that you were just going through a period of personal distress.
I wish. No, I spent most of the time in the medical unit, and but we'll get to that.
I thought either that or you were in the embezzlement unit again, but either way. No, that's actually really, really quite serious. These are far scarier than I thought they were.
They are. Of course, as if they aren't scary enough, people have to make them scarier in the legends they tell about them.
Of course.
And one such thing is actually kind of similar to your Gabriel Hounds last time, which maybe is why my subconscious kind of connected the two.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so you weren't actually having a nightmare induced by them. You've just got previous... I get you now. Yeah.
No, it's still your fault. It's absolutely your fault.
Damn it. I was trying to push the other way.
No, not this time.
Oh, well, I'm just going to have to own it. I made you scared.
Yep, congratulations. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that they have this kind of distinctive cry that can be heard when they are near and they are not actively chasing you. And it is said to be a bad omen to hear this, and it's often said to announce the death of a loved one or other unwelcome events, and kind of like the banshee, or like you said about the Gabriel hounds. But
you see, that's a creature that has earned that moniker, rather than the damn Gabriel hounds, where it's just bad timing.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is also bad timing here, because it's just a matter of if you live somewhere where they are around, you're gonna hear them a lot, and also people might die a lot, and people die anyway, so it's easy to kind of find instances of where you hear the cry and then someone dies. So but we haven't found any evidence of them having any kind of predictive powers or causing death, apart from the disease thing.
When they actively cause death.
Yeah. But you know what I mean. It's not some kind of supernatural, someone is going to die, we're going to warn you about it. It's more, we're in the area, we're making noises, and also we might infect you with diseases if we find you, which would be bad. So
it's again that full-on confirmation bias, and I'm guessing...
Yeah, exactly.
I'm guessing we know what they sound like, and we have that kind of down, but if you're going to talk, say, maybe a couple hundred years ago, people weren't going to be educated in that way. They're going to just hear something that's quite scary and bat-like or screamy-like, and then they sound like, and they hear... They think it's one of these. And it's, what's it called? Chimcham? What?
The Chonchon.
Chonchon, that's it. And they go, oh no, must be a Chonchon then.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And
yeah, okay. And then Grandma's dead in a few days.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, who cares about grandma? Anyway.
Oh, a glimpse into Chris's life there, folks.
My grandmas are both dead, so joke's on you.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening today.
Moving on.
Moving on. Where was I even? Confirmation bias. Yes. Another thing is that they are very quiet if they are like on the hunt. They can fly pretty much silently. As I said, they don't cry if they are actively on the hunt. So basically, if you hear them, you are more or less safe. It's when you don't hear them that's when you have a problem.
It's not the raptor you see, it's the one you don't. But
exactly. You know, there's all kinds of old wives' tales about what you're supposed to do when you encounter them or hear them, and this advice has different degrees of success. And the most successful of the traditional advice is throw ash into the air and say prayers.
Okay.
And this kind of works because they hate ash for some reason. There must be some compound in that or some kind of smell that really drives them away. And the prayers part, it's not so much about the prayers, but when you speak directly at them, even if you can't see them, but maybe in the direction of where you've heard them or think they are, they kind of figure out that, oh, I've been detected. Maybe don't try to eat this person right now. So it's not about the prayers. It's more about they've seen me.
Yeah, so they are kind of ambush hunters, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
So other things tell you to recite certain phrases or hymns, and again, it's the same thing. It's not about the hymn. It's not about telling them to follow Jesus or whatever. It's about them noticing that you have an idea that they are there and are prepared. And
so I'm just imagining a chum chewing on someone's neck, and they're just going, Have you heard about our Savior, Jesus Christ? Just slowly getting quieter and quieter as the blood disappears.
Slowly backing away. Yeah.
And we'll suck out the Holy Spirit.
Oh, God. Yeah, as I said, it's not really about the words themselves. It's about them being noticed. And also, they have gigantic ears, so they are very susceptible. They don't like big noise, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's something with like just general animals, the kind of ones that mundane ones that we deal with.
Yeah, the better they hear, the more they hate loud noises.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable for them, so they'd rather not have to deal with it.
Yeah, so if you're shouting at them, that's not something they like. So chances are they're gonna wander off.
So if you're a priest and you want to try and preach to them about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, shout at them and they'll leave your neck alone.
Yes.
Okay, cool, great. There you go. We are trying to leave an olive branch to religion.
Are we?
Shh, they'll never know.
Moving on. Talking about religion, you're also supposed to draw a Solomon seal on the ground, which I'm only very vaguely familiar with what that is, but...
I should probably, but...
In any case, I can tell you that it doesn't work. They don't care what you draw in the ground, whether it's a Solomon seal or Pikachu. They just do not care.
They should care because, Pikachu really is very good at taking out Zubats. Sorry, I can't stop myself.
Well, it's true, I suppose. If you electrocute them, that will probably be effective.
Flying are weak to electric types. Carry on.
Thank you. So, another piece of oddly specific advice is lay out a waistcoat in a specified manner.
Okay.
Which I don't know who came up with that, but the only way we have found this working in any way, shape, or form is if the waistcoat just happens to have a very strong stench that drives them away. So basically, someone very sweaty must have put their waistcoat on the floor or something. I don't know where that comes from, but yeah.
Have you tried picking up the waistcoat and catching him like a duck?
I have not, and I do not intend to.
Well, you know, it's an idea for next time.
I sure hope there's not gonna be a next time. For all I care, the new guys can take care of any Chonchon business in the future, but
that bad?
It wasn't my greatest memory, but you know, it is what it is. You're also supposed to tell them to come back tomorrow for some salt, and then, according to the legend, the human version of the sorcerer then comes back the next day and asks you for some salt, which...
You're going to defeat them with high blood pressure?
Yeah, maybe. Also, they are asking for it themselves. I don't understand this one, but...
All right.
Anyway.
In fact, actually, I just have to say this. Some of the remedies for half these creatures are some weird things out there.
Yes. It really makes you wonder how people come up with these things.
It makes me more wonder how people survived encounters with half these creatures.
Well, that's the neat part. They didn't.
Okay, you're not wrong. Oh, that's great.
So some of these things are supposed to make them fall down, which, you know, kind of works. You know, the ash, if they get it straight into their face, it kind of makes them lose their bearings and they kind of stumble around, and loud noises can also kind of disorient them. But, you know, according to the legend, they were also very vengeful, so I'm not sure why you wouldn't want any of that, but that's just the contradiction that's very common in these kinds of stories.
Yeah, it happens all the time in folktales.
Yeah. But yeah, at least we know ash and loud noises are effective, and it's our main tools when we have to deal with them. You know, we put speakers in areas, or for personal defense, we use like bags of ash and an air horn. You know, just simple things. No high tech that can fail at the wrong moment. Just
yeah.
Good old blasting them in the face with annoying sounds.
Hey everyone, the CCI has a budget too.
It's true.
Okay, no, that sounds effective. But I'm kind of curious as to how you have interacted with them, especially seeing as if it was able to give you a nightmare.
Yes. So it's a few years ago by now. There was a colony of them that were making a lot of trouble at that time. It was kind of a perfect storm. There was an epidemic going on in the among the humans in that area. Of course, there's also the normal kind of illnesses that go around all the times, and there was also, on top of that, some kind of increase in diseases among animals that usually cannot be transferred to humans in normal ways. But, you know, if you put in a disease collector, then that kind of everything goes out the window.
Yeah, mutations happen.
Yeah, and then in that year, there was also, you know, the weather, the prey animals and everything, it all kind of combined to increase the numbers of the Chonchons this year compared to other years, and due to that there were more attacks on humans, and things got out of control, and people were dying left, right and center of
oh damn,
you know, all kinds of illnesses at the same time, and doctors were not prepared to deal with that because it's not something you usually encounter.
I mean, a pandemic is one thing, you know, you've got a specific disease that's going around and killing everything.
Yeah.
When you've essentially got a cocktail going around and killing everyone, that's a different beast entirely.
Exactly. And yeah, that was quite a situation, and our contacts in the World Health Organization, they asked us to step in and deal with that because we know what is going on there, and obviously they recognize that something more than a normal epidemic is at play. And
Yeah.
so we had to step in, and we had people there organizing the medical support and dealing with the patients and try to save as many people as they can. And of course, we had the response team that had to kind of deal with the Chonchons themselves and try to contain this whole thing somehow. And I was part of that team. And our main tactic was, first find out where their nests are in the area.
Yeah, locate the nests and work from there.
Yeah. And luckily, they don't spread out too much usually, so the area was manageable. And then we planned to make a kind of sound barrier around that. So basically a circle of speakers,
clever.
so to say, that kind of just blasts them with ultrasonic stuff so that it's not too loud for humans in the area and too noticeable, but it certainly keeps them at bay. So the idea was to create this kind of circle sound barrier around them to isolate them, and then the secondary team of vets and everything can go in and kind of sort out, do we have to cull them, can we cure them somehow, whatever they do.
Okay.
I didn't actually know what they did because I was already out by that point.
How?
Yeah, I was part of the team, constructing this barrier, and it seems like we had kind of miscalculated the radius a bit. There were some outlier nests that were a little bit closer to the circle as we would have liked. And so that resulted in us having to fend them off more often than we'd like to, because if you get close to their nests, they get kind of very aggressive.
I mean, that's just a characteristic of pretty much any animal. You get close to
exactly
their nest where their young is, and
can't blame them. But so we all had our ash and air horns, as I said, as personal defense, but at some point, I can say it's just maybe I wasn't paying enough attention, or I was just surprised somehow. Either way, one of them basically flew at me from behind and bit me in the kind of in the base of the neck, and I chased it off, but the damage was already done.
Damn, that's nasty.
Yeah, I kind of completed the tower I was working on and called into HQ and told them that I might need to be taken care of myself. And basically I had every disease known to man, or at least that's what it felt like. And the first few days or weeks, I was kind of in a daze. I was barely conscious. I just spent months and months just lying in the medical unit in South America, in our headquarters there somewhere. Or not headquarters, in our, the...
regional headquarters, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they were just trying to keep me alive and one by one kind of deal with the stuff I was infected with, and it took a long time for me to recover. And that's why I do not have the greatest fondest memory of these creatures.
No, I can understand that. So you said it was a few years ago.
Yeah. You might have noticed that there was a time when I was basically not contactable for, I don't know, was it 6 months, 7 months, something like that?
I know why I didn't know anything about them then. That was the first time I was dealing with the Leviathan. So I was at sea.
That checks out, yeah.
Yeah.
The timing checks out.
So they wouldn't have bothered me at all. I'm just kind of curious as to if it was a few years ago. Obviously, that probably I would have expected senior leadership.
I'm trying to keep it vague because we don't want people to know where these things are, and if you check the time against medical records and whatnot, just being a little bit too careful, probably. But
that makes sense. But do you know somewhere where we don't need to be really vague?
Well, We don't need to be vague in our Discord, and it's a beautiful place to find diseases or people, or talk about our episodes and request creatures for us to talk about, because chances are one of us has encountered them and can tell you something about them. It is a place for wonderful people who listen to this podcast to connect and to tell each other how they have subscribed to our podcast.
Yes, because if you subscribe or follow or whatever your podcasting app of choice or organization or setup or website of choice likes to do, then you know what? You get paid. You get lots and lots and lots of valuable pay in the form of our wonderful, wonderful episodes that are all evergreen.
Exactly.
Sorry, you're not getting actual monetary value, but it's enrichment of your life. And all our episodes, like I say, are all there ready for you to listen. You don't have to listen in order. You can choose whichever is your favorite creature, and you can start learning a little bit about the creatures that you didn't even know really existed and why you should probably be terrified of them. And in the meantime, what else should they be doing?
They should also be giving us a rating. They should also check out our new YouTube channel, because Google has shut down Google Podcasts. Thanks, Google. But now we have a YouTube channel where our podcast now lives in the Google realm. So check that out. Give us a like and subscribe and all that kind of jazz. And do all the things to appease the algorithm.
The algorithm. Yes, please do go and check out the YouTube. We are steadily putting up every single episode with a bit of a visual touch to them. So you can watch it a little bit, and trust me, I absolutely love the visual touch we've got. It's just so nice. Our logo is so good. If anything, you have to subscribe to the podcast for the logo alone. It is amazing.
You absolutely should. Yes.
I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to this episode. If you haven't, well, sorry. But in the meantime, unless there's anything else you want to say, I think that's ready to say goodbye.
Goodbye.